Rectangular is back with more leaks. This time it's a little more vague, so we're going to have to do some of our own speculating. We're going to kind of go piece by piece here. Now, one of the waves that Rectangular said was coming is an Ironman retro wave. So today, we're going to speculate what's going to come in the retro Ironman wave. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Strong Collectors Podcast. I'm your host, Dakota, here with my co-host, Jordan. And today, we are talking retro Ironman. So Rectangular probably is going to come out with all the figures that are coming out in each of these waves. But until then, Jordan and I get some time to speculate and guess what we think is going to be coming. And we're going to start out with the retro Ironman wave because this has been on my list of things to talk about probably for a year. Ever since they came out with the retro War Machine and the retro modular Ironman, I was like, clearly they're making this card back for a reason. We're going to get more on this. And it looks like 2024 is the year that we are. So we only have two out right now, right? War Machine and modular Ironman. I don't think there's anything else. Yeah. So there's only two out right now. And that kind of leaves the door open pretty wide. I did some research on like what figures came out from Toy Biz so that they could redo. I will say the number one thing that I've been saying for as long as I've been saying anything is on this retro Iron Man card, we're going to get a new Dread Knight. Take it to the bank. It's coming on the new Jack-o'-lantern body. It's got the scales with the butterfly joints. If you've got that old Dread Knight, it's time to jump ship. I told you that in the what to like sell these figures now kind of episode.
Now you're just even more confident.
It's really time to sell that Dread Knight because if his leg hasn't broken yet, it might. Get rid of it. And I don't know. Listen to me tell you to get rid of things if you want to. I would rather have the price that he's going for now so that I can buy 3 more Dread Knights when this one comes out. And that's just my speculation. I don't know for sure that it is coming out. If you go and sell your Dread Knight and you make a ton of money off of it, don't come crying to me when they don't make another Dread Knight. So, anyway, Jordan, do you have some ideas of what you think is going to be coming on this retro card back?
I mean, off the top of my head, I feel like the most obvious one is a Mandarin of some kind.
Yeah.
If I remember right in the animated show, wasn't he more like a green alien type looking guy?
Yep.
That to me seems more of the route they would probably go.
Yeah.
So that is my first thought.
Mm-hmm. You think he's going to be more like robes or more kind of like armored up? Because this one kind of has, more battle armor. I mean, he has both looks, but
I could see it being the battle armor look.
I think it would be battle armor. Yeah.
Don't you think?
I think
like
you would
that would also fit more with that.
Yeah.
It's like everyone in the 90s had some battle armor going on.
They've all got the football pads on. I think if they were going to do a Fin Fang Foom in the future, that one would maybe come with more of the robes, kind of more sorcerer type of Mandarin. But I don't know. And I think that would be kind of a cool way to get different looks because I don't think Mandarin, as much as people are like clamoring for a Mandarin, I don't think he's that popular of a character that could justify having like multiple looks in a regular series.
Yeah.
So.
Well, especially too if he's in a robe. I mean, how articulate is he going to?
Exactly.
Can't really do much with him. So.
Yeah.
I feel like that. That would make more sense to me. The battle armor. So I'll lean towards that.
Any others you're thinking?
If I remember right. I don't know if they would do this, but didn't they have a lot of like kind of West Coast Avenger cameos in that show? Or am I wrong on that? I mean, I guess we did just get a Hawkeye and Spider-Woman in the 5-pack.
Yeah.
I don't know if they would like try to do a...
That's what I was thinking.
Here's a newer-ish same Hawkeye with... I don't really know what they do different. So if I remember right, they don't look...
Yeah, Hawkeye
I guess that'd be
the
easy
same
reuse, so...
I think Spider-Woman does maybe look a little different, or maybe she's just more often more plain clothed, like not in like the spider outfit. But I feel like that would be so cheap to do that. So I feel like probably not, because they also had some other characters like Stingray, and as people have been wanting a Stingray for a while, but that just doesn't make so much sense to put it in an Iron Man retro card when why not just put it on your West Coast Avengers retro card?
Right.
I think that would make more sense. The one Avenger, though, that I think that they would do in this Iron Man look would be Scarlet Witch, because it's kind of that, like, I think, not that I want them to reuse old things, but it looks pretty much like the AOA Jean Grey, with just like without the David Bowie
hair. Right.
Yeah. Yep. Short hair, kind of the like, looks like a 80s workout outfit. So
right,
I could see that, because they love putting out their Scarlet Witches. And then that would be a female figure to put on this retro card, because I don't know that there's really another female figure to do other than, what was it? I put her down because
Pepper Potts. Wasn't she in that show?
I don't remember her being in the show. She probably was, but I can't
not big
remember.
Enough to be in the figure.
Yeah.
Though.
Hypnotia, I guess, is one of the other female figures from the show. And I think that one they could just reuse the Vertigo, which is like, again, that's kind of using older stuff, but it's kind of got that like that same Vertigo of like spirally 70s kind of look. I don't know. Hopefully they would give her some sort of power set effect, because they didn't really give anything with Vertigo. And I think it'd be kind of cooler to give kind of that like whatever you would call that, but look cooler.
That was a great great sound effect.
You could see that with your mind. What would be happening?
I didn't even need to look at what you were doing. No. What about Whiplash? Wasn't he in that show? No?
I don't think. Well, maybe it was Whiplash, but I think a more popular character, and I don't know if it's the same character, was Blacklash. So he's kind of like looks more like a pirate. He's got the like green ponytail. Let me pull out
maybe
my.
That's what I'm thinking of. Oh,
it probably is, honestly. I got my animated show cards here. I guess Spider-Man or Spider-Woman looks the same. They not have a Blacklash card? Oh yeah, they do.
Let's see him.
He's kind of purplish, fighting Iron Man down there.
Oh yeah, you're right. Kind of that.
Kind of Zorro.
All right. Yeah, I was going to say Zorro. That's what I was thinking.
So, I could see that, because we don't really have anything like him, like a cape with, I don't know, V. He doesn't even have like it's not a V cut. I think it's just like a triangle cut out of the center of his chest. I don't know. Interesting costume choice. That's probably just that one. I've seen a few different looks, but anyway.
Don't ask him why.
Right. Don't ask the 80s why they were doing what they were doing.
The pattern was just so complicated on that shirt. Really.
No kidding. I mean, I think it would be pretty obvious we're going to get another Iron Man.
Right. But what will that Iron Man be?
Because this
Do you
one,
have ideas?
I'm thinking, I don't think it would be huge, because you could do a deluxe figure and make it the Hulkbuster. But that just seems like too big to put on this kind of a retro card back. So that kind of makes me lean away from that. I would think it would probably be either like the space armor, maybe the water armor, because I think those are pretty popular. Like even just in regular Iron Man comics, they would go well in your Hall of Armor. Probably never going to really display like Aqua Armor Iron Man fighting Namor or something. I don't even know who he would fight underwater, but it would just go in your Hall of Armor. Yeah. They've got like Exo Armor. I don't think so. It's kind of interesting. The ones in the Toy Biz cards seemed like they kind of all had like the pop on, pop off armor.
Right.
So you could like soup him up or kind of take it off and just make him regular Iron Man. I kind of wonder if they would do anything like that for I think the only one that would maybe work for that would be the underwater one, where you could like kind of port on and off his like air bubble thing, which is kind of weird to need an air bubble inside of a mask already. Right? So maybe
it's an added layer, dude, just in case.
Yeah. So I don't know. That doesn't make a ton of sense to me, but you know, it made sense to Iron Man. He's smarter than I am. But I think you could easily get some like reuses from figures in the past and just kind of throw them in this without having to do much work for Hasbro. Because like Beetle was in the show.
Mm-hmm.
That was a cheap figure from before. I don't know if they would give him some sort of upgrade to make him better, but he looks pretty much the same.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if they would do some like plain clothes figures, like a Howard Stark or a Justin Hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that would also be kind of like a cheap reuse, just give him an alternate head. And I think those would be ones that people would actually kind of want. I don't think they would be like, you wouldn't go crazy over them like you would a Dread Knight. But I think that like Justin Hammer is a pretty popular villain for Iron Man to go against. So maybe. Any others you were thinking of, Jordan?
I'm trying to think. Were the Vault Guardsmen, were they a part of that show?
They were a little bit more jacked up, I think.
So could you get more of a beefy version of those guys?
That
maybe?
would be kind of cool. I think that would be cool. Because then you would get kind of an army builder on a non-Build-A-Figure wave. Because that doesn't seem to happen very often. Usually they all come with Build-A-Figure parts. So that would be kind of cool. And then maybe that would be a good template for repaint to make a kind of a souped-up Doombot.
Ooh, you know how I want that.
I know you've been wanting those.
Sign me up.
Let's see. There's a samurai armor that Iron Man wears, which I don't think would make a ton of sense other than just like a callback to this old toy. But I thought it looked pretty cool. He's got kind of like a blade on his arm. He's got like blades on his back. Kind of I think he's purplish, maybe? Green? I don't know. Different colors. Be unique for your Hall of Armor. I think that was all of the Iron Man armor. Oh, there's Arctic armor. Because Blizzard is in this show. Another cheap repaint Hasbro could do to just give you an old figure again. I don't think they would do MODOK because we've had him and he's kind of too big. He'd have to be in a deluxe, which was kind of crazy because the old Toy Biz ones just shrunk him down and put him in the regular boxes. But Grey Gargoyle would be another easy
there you
redo.
go.
Whirlwind, easy redo. There is a U.S. agent, but he looks completely different than any of the U.S. agents we've gotten. He's kind of more of the, like, a lot more white and blue instead of the black and red. So I think that could work. Titanium Man and Crimson Dynamo are both figures that, like, I think you could do kind of the more Iron Man sized versions of them, which I think people have been wanting. I think people enjoy their Build-A-Figure Crimson Dynamo, the Select Titanium Man. But I think, I don't know, I personally would rather have them on the Iron Man scale. So we'll see if that happens. Let's see, Sentry. I don't remember what he looked like. Oh, he's kind of this like grayish, purple caped. I don't know what he is, but there's Sentry for you.
He's also got quite a look going on there.
Yeah. And then another one on the backside of that card, I have Ultimo, which I don't know anything about Ultimo other than I think he looks cool and I would probably buy him.
What about the radioactive zombie?
I do not know about the radioactive zombie.
He's apparently a part of the Mandarin's plan to take over the world. So, kind of looks like a Scooby-Doo bad guy.
That's what it sounds like to me. I mean,
like
that'd be cool.
Like a goopy green man with red eyes.
That would be kind of fun to have like a
something just goofy
like a glow
that.
in the dark. And then
Living Laser, wasn't he in that show?
Yeah, yep, you're right. There's another redo for
Ghost?
you. Red Ghost.
Have we ever had a Red Ghost?
I don't think so, and I think
Hasbro?
that would make a lot of sense.
I feel like we're due for a Red Ghost. I kind of forgot about him being in that show, but
would you actually buy him, Jordan?
I think he's just such a funny bad guy.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, you're gonna have to get the Super Apes, though.
If you got Super Apes, I'll take those.
I'd love to have. I mean, that would honestly. I almost feel like that could be like a specialty item. I don't know if it'd be like a Pulse exclusive, but if you got like Red Ghost and like 3 Super 8, I think that'd be actually kind of cool. I could see people maybe wanting that. He's to me, he's just such a kooky, funny bad guy. So I would like to see him.
I mean, team him up
But,
with some of your smarter villains like Egghead and the leader, MODOK.
Intelligentsia.
Yeah, I think you're probably right on that one. I would put that one high in the possibility list of things that would come out. And I don't
just
know
because I could see him being like, because the problem could be, right, if you're appealing just to like the hardcore Iron Man animated series fans, which like if you throw in some characters, because Red Ghost has a lot of crossover with like Fantastic Four and other characters and stuff, so yeah, that would make sense. But.
Yeah, I think that would, as much as I don't really have any interest in like actually having him, I could see a lot of people, because it'd be a first time in the line, getting a lot of folks excited. And there is a lot of crossover with like Bruce Banner comes in the show with the Hulk and the leader, but I think those would be saved more for like a retro Hulk line. So same with the West Coast Avengers, like it doesn't make as much sense to put them in. But I don't know. Out of all of these, I'm saying number one, I'm for sure banking on a Dread Knight. I think you're onto something with the Red Ghost. I would put him as a not out of
more than the Mandarin. Or would you say Mandarin's like?
I don't know. It seems like Hasbro's just got something against making Mandarin. Like I could honestly see them not doing it.
I think part of, I mean, if you make him a green alien, that's one thing.
Right.
I do think there is kind of the racial stereotype element to the Mandarin that they've kind of moved away from in the comics.
Yeah.
To like kind of get away from that.
Right.
Because even in the Shang-Chi movie, they had like kind of, he had a commentary on that, like sort of like making fun of even the concept of him being called the Mandarin. So I don't know.
True.
But I feel like if it's a show, he's a green alien. I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see.
That's because it's kind of like the Flash Gordon, Ming the Conqueror, right?
Right.
Ming the Merciless, whichever one it is. But yeah.
Yes. So.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I think.
I definitely think you're right about there being an Iron Man of some kinds. Do you think there would only be one? Would they be like, we're going to be a couple Iron Man?
Well, because they already have one. And I don't think this is going to be nearly the same level of vintage line as the Spider-Man line. Because the Spider-Man, like, they're putting out a new reveal for that, like, every other day. So I don't think that the Iron Man line would grow to that level. So I would expect we get, like, 6 figures. And that'd probably be it for the year and maybe it just in general. Because the show didn't have that long of a run, I don't think. Like, the toys only went, I think, 4 series, and then series 5 of the toys got canceled. So I could just see this one being kind of a smaller one, and maybe they'll put out like kind of a random 1 or 2 after this 6. Yeah, but I don't think we would even get a second wave of these unless these go crazy and people love them. I just don't think that they've been going crazy over the War Machine or the modular Iron Man. So I guess we'll see. Another one that I forgot to mention was Ghost. We've only had one. Well, I guess we've had an MCU Ghost, but there's only been one comic Ghost, and that was like a Defenders box set. I've never seen him in the groups. I don't think for sale ever. And then this one looks a lot more like Moon Knight. So I don't know if you remember this one, but I just think that would be an easy and kind of cool, like Moon Knight-ish type character, because he's all white with like the same hood, and his cape is just kind of more like, instead of like a long cape, it's more of like the sleeves that attach.
All right.
So I think that would be a cool figure, just because it's unique. You don't get that look very often, and I could see a lot of folks using it for cool customs. Maybe not super high in the realm of possibilities. I think Dread Knight and probably a Aqua Armor Iron Man. Probably a Red Ghost. I really could see that. I think a Scarlet Witch is pretty possible.
Guardsman or Vault Guardsman, perhaps.
Maybe, because they did make the Iron or the Ultron, and then a year later made a different Ultron. Because we just got the Vault Guard. What was it, like 2 years ago now? Maybe.
It was Ursa Major, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I guess there's been a little time in between, but that's still a super cheap figure. You can get that probably $10. Not that Hasbro really cares what the aftermarket is all the time, but I don't see that being a huge draw. Blacklash, I think, would be up there. And then I think you're going to get one of those like cheaper figures now remade, like whether it be Grey Gargoyle, Living Laser, Whirlwind, Beetle, one of those. I think just one of those will be made again. I don't think they would do a whole bunch of them, but or at least I hope.
3/4 of the wave are like cheap $10 figures you can get right now.
Right. So
I really want, now that I've seen them, the radioactive zombie.
Yeah, I think it would be cool to put in. I don't think it would happen either, but I think it would be cool to have some sort of an army builder with
just like a deep cut for the hardcore fans of the show, you know.
Yeah, and I really hope that like Chris Starr blows up and people love it and go crazy over it.
Was Jarvis in the Iron Man show or no?
I want to say he was, but I don't remember.
I really don't remember either.
Yeah, I can't remember him, but at the same time, I feel like I remember him. But it's also I don't trust my memory. That could have been a different cartoon.
Watched a lot of cartoons, man.
Oh, melted my brain.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, I think there's a lot of cool possibilities.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, I imagine it being more of a singular line. I don't really see them like mining this one, like you said, unless it goes crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like this would kind of be like this is your set of retro Iron Man.
I anticipate probably no more than 10 more retro Iron Man figures in the life of Marvel Legends. Like I said, there'll be 6 in the wave, and then some random one-offs as like a exclusive or something like that, which is fine with me because I would rather them kind of do like a wave plus a little bit for multiple of these, because we've got the retro Fantastic Four. Because how many are there for that? There's a wave plus Firelord, Doctor Doom, 2 Pulse exclusives, and I think that's it.
Yeah.
So that's 10 right there. So, and if we could, I don't know if you could do 10 with the Ghost Rider, because there is a Ghost Rider retro card, but 10 seems like a stretch for Ghost Rider. Because we could, I don't think they would do a Danny Ketch on the Ghost Rider retro card because they'd want to have him come out with a bike. Anyway,
well, I think you had a good idea saying that about the Hulk. I could see that getting a wave at least. You know?
You'd get a Hulk, a Leader, the She-Hulk, probably a Bruce Banner. I don't know.
We'll have to do some research.
We'll do some research. That'll be another episode. I'm not going to give away the whole episode.
I like the idea of it being, because then if you just do kind of like one-ish wave, you're not like padding it out with a bunch of junk.
Right.
That is like, I guess, like, but I would rather it be more concise and just, you know, better figures overall.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm curious to see them.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, I would imagine it's going to be quite a while until we actually get these revealed, since they just revealed the Spider-Man retro line. But I don't know, and maybe won't be too much longer until Rectangular leaks what these actually are, because by this time last year he had already put out the big leaks. So hopefully we can get a few episodes in of speculating before he does come out with the full on.
Then
leak.
You guys can tune in to hear some guys talking about guys already what they talked about what another guy's talking about.
It's a whole chain of events. And once that first domino falls,
it's the snake eating itself for all time.
Pretty much. All right, man. What did we miss here? Because honestly,
I feel like there's got to be. There usually seems like there's at least one or two that are like left that off. But I trust you came in heavy with that.
I tried to do
trading cards. So
I tried to do some looking up and trading cards, and I think this retro wave could lead into the announcement of a Fin Fang Foom as the next Haslab. But honestly, I would rather they just take a year off of Haslab for Marvel Legends. I don't think they will, but I think that would be smart. Because then and they wouldn't do it either, but you could get the Fin Fang Foom kind of in the same the Iron Man with the cannon is just supersized. I think it'd be cool. I don't think it'll happen, but we'll see.
Who knows?
Let us know what we forgot. What do you think is going to be in this wave? We're going to assume that it's 6. I'm sure we forgot at least 1 or 2 characters. Maybe you're going to tell Jordan that that's way too deep of a cut for his whatever zombie.
Radioactive zombie.
Radioactive zombie. But maybe it's possible. Until the next episode, make sure you're liking, sharing, and subscribing. You can get these t-shirts on Etsy. And stay strong. I don't plug these shirts enough, Jordan.
I love the plug at the end. That's good.
It just looks so good.
My sister wants to buy some, actually.
There's only 2 in existence right now, Jordan. Got Collect to Disconnect and the one that's on my body.
All right. I still need to order mine. I keep forgetting.
I know you do.
Yeah, what was that comment about, saying that we're oozing charisma? I like to think that was genuine.
I would doubt it, but
charismatic guy.
Well, that's the thing is, like, I don't understand
it's
some
kind
of the
a mean thing to say.
It is, yeah. But like, I go back and I look at the likes and stuff, and it's very rare that we have 100%. But what was it? The Ironman ranking. 4 people disliked it. Like, that's pretty high in our dislike category. Why? Like, do they just disagree with the ranking, or? Because I thought that was a pretty good episode. I love it. Somebody else said we need to do more rankings, and I was like, you bet.
Keep them coming.